Now, this is a story that I documented personally. And in 2010, we started getting these weird reports of people seeing these entities with dark black eyes. Now, this story takes place in Mason City. There was this couple who was driving down the highway at like 3 a.m. and they were on their way to work. As they're going down the highway, their car decides to give out. And so the husband veers over to the side of the road and he figures maybe it's something simple. I'll get out and check under the hood. So he gets out of the car and he goes around to the front and he pops the hood. As he's working on the car, he said he got like this feeling, like he just felt like he was going to be sick. And when he turned, he said there were three teenagers standing next to him. And they were all dressed in black. They had black pants, a black hoodie with the hood up. And he said he couldn't see their faces because it was covered by these hoods. And he said there was one in front and then there was two teenagers behind him. And he said this one in front looked at him and said, "Can you give us a ride?" And he's like, "Well, obviously I can't give anyone a ride. You can see I'm broken down." And he said that then this teenager said to him, "Well, go into the car and start it." And then he said the ones behind this teenager started saying, "Go, go, go." And so he's like, "Okay, whatever, I'll give it a try." So he goes into the car and he turns the ignition. Boom, the car starts right up. And he said right after it started up, he looked to his left, and right at the driver's side window was that boy again. And so he rolled down his window and was like, "Hey, look, I got the car started, but I don't really feel comfortable. I got my wife here. It's 3 a.m. Like, I don't want to give you guys a ride, but I can call someone and we can get them to come pick you up." And he said, "No, give us a ride." And he said, "Look, I cannot give you a ride. I don't feel comfortable with that." They said, "No, no, you don't understand. Give us a ride now." And he said, "No, it's not going to happen. So let me know if you want me to call someone, but I'm not going to give you a ride." And he said after he said that, he could tell that they were sort of more angry and aggressive. And he said that's when they looked at him and said, "Give us a ride now. We cannot come in your car unless you invite us in." And he goes, What do you mean?" And as he sort of got a better look at this teenager, that's when he noticed this teenager didn't have regular eyes. His eyes were solid black and round. And he said instantly he just got chills. He rolled up his window as fast as he could and he's like, "Get out of here now." And he said these three teenagers started screaming and laughing, banging on the car, trying to get in. And he just didn't know what to do. But right at that moment, another car comes down the highway. And it was an older gentleman. He slows down, he stops. And by this time, these teenagers took off somewhere. And he said the older gentleman was like, "Is everything okay? Do you need help?" And he's like, "Well, my car broke down, but it started and, I can probably get into town. But there were these three teenagers out here and, it's cold. We're in the middle of nowhere. Like, should we be concerned?" And the guy said, "Hold on a second." He gets out of his truck and they start looking around for these teenagers. Except in every direction, there is nothing but just empty cornfields. So they couldn't figure out where they went. So then they started looking for footprints in the snow. Except there were only one set of footprints, the man's going around to the front of the car and then back inside. And after that, he had this guy follow him all the way into town. And he said for weeks he had nightmares, and all he could see were the eyes of that man that stared at him and asked for a ride.